Thank you very much, Gillian, for getting us started and for your words to frame our journey here together. It's now my pleasure to introduce Jean-Marc Lidwina. He's MBA 99J. He is the senior partner at KPMG and in charge of what's called the ESG Transformation. What does ESG stand for? Okay, environmental, social, and governance transformation. So obviously very much in line with what Ilian has highlighted around business and society and sustainability transformation. He has 25 years of experience both in consulting as well as in top management roles. He has been a vice president at Unilever until 2006, and then partner or principal at Bain, Roland Berger, and Deloitte. He's also been long involved in non-profit and charitable activities. Among them, obviously, Jean-Marc has chaired the INSEAD Alumni Association here in France from 2011 to 17, and then again, the last 2 years, 2021. He organized unique leadership events, such as the INSEAD Essential and Global Forum in Paris, and he sits on the National Council of INSEAD, as well as boards of several other organizations. Since July 2021, he is also president of the foundation of Collège des Bernardiens. I think, hopefully I pronounced that somewhat correctly. And Jean-Marc has worked across 5 continents, lived in many different countries, like you would expect of an INSEADer. Dual national, French and Canadian, holds a MSc in Civil Engineering from École Spéciale des Travaux Publics in Paris, and an INSEAD MBA. He is based in Paris, married, and 4 kids who are about to get the age of INSEAD. So, so please help me welcome Jean-Marc back to INSEAD.
Thanks, Urs. Thanks for your kind words of introduction. And thanks, Ilian, if you're still around, for your kind words as well. My dear INSEAD friends, students, professors, staff, partners, maybe, of students, maybe not. Some children probably back in bed already. It's a real great honor to be with you tonight. And a great pleasure as well. I can tell you, I remember vividly when I was here for my own opening ceremony back then in September '98. And I remember very well as well who gave the speech. So it's a bit of pressure. I don't know if in 22 or 23 years you will remember your inauguration or start of the year speech. I'll do my best. I could do the speech in 2 words. Bravo, congratulations, and be proud, because you are here. You're in the most fascinating place in the world. You have, look at your neighbors, look at them. See? These are the brightest students you can find in the world. And the standards to get here, they are much higher now than they were when I joined 22 or 23 years ago. I would probably not even get close to this bench now. You've been really fantastic and formidable to be applying first, but to be accepted. So be proud of that, and really congratulations for being here. You've started a program today, or you will start in a few minutes when we declare that officially. I hope you're all still around in 10 or 12 months, sincerely. And I hope you can become part of the alumni community. You have to graduate to do that. So please, let me congratulate you in 12 months' time. It will feel even better for me. And as for me, I'm really happy to be here for the third time, actually. I had my own opening ceremony in 98, September 98. I graduated in July 99. I had an opening ceremony in 2012. I was invited already by Peter Zemsky. And tonight, I think tonight is the third time. It will be the best. I can sense that, I can feel that, despite the mask. I show you my face for 20 seconds, and then you will show me your faces at some stage. Let's be careful with that. I want to speak to you about three things tonight only, because I was given 20 minutes only. My experience at INSEAD, your experience at INSEAD, and our experience of INSEAD together. It's very easy to remember. My experience at INSEAD, I think when I joined, first I applied and then joined, I had some sort of a DNA fit. And I don't know if you will feel the same, but I'm the grandson of migrants from Spain. They were kicked out of Spain. They went on a boat to Algeria, which was French originally at that time. And then they were kicked out of France, of Algeria, thrown to the southwest of France, from Spanish origin, speaking Spanish at home. That was my father's side. And he married then my mother from Corsica, which is a small island, which I hope you will visit during your year in Fontainebleau. I really recommend it, by the way. And this mix of Spain, Corsica, France by immigration led my parents to go to Canada, and I was born in Canada then. So I felt like being myself a bit multicultural and from many places in the world. Don't ask me where are my real roots, I don't know. But I know that the space here was a safe zone because many people are like this and many people are coming from all over the place at INSEAD. So I felt good. I had my two nationalities, as you said, French and Canadian. I spoke before INSEAD 3 languages, which was I think the minimal requirement. I don't know if it's still the case. And after INSEAD, I spoke 4 languages. Not as good as the 3 for the 4th one, but nonetheless, I learned 1 more language at INSEAD, which was feeling good, actually. And I had a background. I was smiling when I heard the story of Ilian about the guy of 1962 or 63. I also have an engineering degree, and I felt that I needed to understand business and to work in what I loved, consumer goods, consumer products. The engineering degree was not sufficient. I could do and construct buildings and roads and bridges, but that was big projects with a lot of capex, and I wanted to sell yogurt, water, detergents, with minimal capex and maximum profit. So I was not in the right side. And I had done probably a mistake. I thought it was a mistake. After engineering studies, I didn't know what to do. So I went to consulting for 3 years. Do we have consultants here? Okay, I knew that. So I was like you guys who raised your hands. It was not really a mistake, actually. It was a sort of MIM, Master in Management. It did not exist yet at INSEAD, so I went in consulting to learn a bit more than engineering. It was good because it allowed me to apply to INSEAD and then join INSEAD. So the DNA was okay, and then I had a tough choice to make before INSEAD because I was admitted to other schools, especially in the US. I don't know if that's the case for you. Who was admitted in a US school here? So a few. My tough choice was either attend INSEAD with a massive loan, because I was paying myself, and become poor immediately, in the hope that I could get it back at some stage with ROI that the dean and the faculty promised on the brochure. Or I could look to end the MBA of Columbia with a fully paid fellowship, the COP fellowship, with the all-inclusive package in New York City. I chose INSEAD. I say that on purpose. You know why? Because it was 10 months. If you were in the July promotion, you will have 12 months with an internship, I believe. It was 10 months. I didn't want to spend my life on the student bench again. I wanted to be quick into the career again. And that's why I chose INSEAD. It was in France, so it was a bit less funky for us. We lived in the UK then, but it was okay to return to Fontainebleau. Singapore did not exist, Abu Dhabi did not exist then, the campus in San Francisco did not exist. So we had no other choice than coming here. But it was okay, and you will love your year in Fontainebleau. and the other campuses as well. For me, it was exactly as Ilian said, it was an amazing year, and it was probably the best year of my life. Why is that? Learning, you will learn, I promise you, I'll come back to that. Diversity, you watched your neighbors a bit earlier. I think you are 484 students tonight, 37% women, 66 nationalities. You can't beat that anywhere else in the world. The US MBAs can't beat that either. And you had the best parties of your life here. It's even better than the learning, you know, you learn to party here. And when I say I did learn to party, it was amazing because we did, I remember the Nordic week. It was organized by the Swedes, the Finnish people, etc. And they organized a Viking, do I pronounce that well? A Viking party. And it was in summer, they brought snow to the campus. And other things, but I'll stay there. And a lot of friendships. And clearly, what Ilian described a bit earlier is how do you say, the long-lasting, the life-lasting friendships. I can tell you that's true. I've attended weddings of my class. I've attended baptism, christenings. I've attended funerals because some of us died, regrettably and sadly. Some of the classmates invested in a startup which I launched with the INSEAD in 2008, a big crisis, so it went bankrupt. But they are still my friends now, the investors, so that's okay. And we had, the last thing was the formidable 99J spirit, which is difficult to describe, but it's still alive. 22 years later, I can tell you that the 99J class still operates like you will operate during the year. We have now a WhatsApp, it did not exist then, a WhatsApp group. And when I looked at it just before I joined, I took a selfie in front of INSEAD, and I said, Happy New Year to everyone, I'm back in Fonty. And then I took the picture of the welcome class MBA, and I said, I'm going to retake it twice because I did not understand the classes of macroeconomics in particular. So sorry, Ilian. I'll learn again. But also the 99J spirit is true in the sense that, for example, I was telling Urs just before, that we have an annual giving day at INSEAD. You will see when you're alumni, you don't stop paying INSEAD, okay? It's for life. It's it's a life-lasting friendship and payment. Now, the Giving Day is one day where the foundation of INSEAD, the IAAF, the INSEAD Alumni Fund, collects money with a bit of a funky way and fun and games, etc., to make a challenge. And because everything is competitive at INSEAD, there is a competition between the MBA classes. So 99J with our spirit, which is unique, I can tell you. I hope you have as good spirit and even better as we had in 99. But we wanted to be the #1 class in participation, so i.e. the maximum people of the class would participate. Thanks to WhatsApp, we ranked #1 of all the MBA classes ever since 1960s. So we were really proud. And then we looked at the overall ranking, and we were beaten, we were second, by the meme 21. We said, what the hell is that? It was the first ever master in management in class 21, and everyone was furious. How can they have 99% participation? It's because it's a small class and only one guy did not give. So they had, I think, 97 or 98% participation, so they ended up #1. Everyone was furious, but won 99J MBA. Because his daughter was in the meme 21. So he was #1 and #2 with the family. So that was great. Now, there is also fantastic, in my experience, faculty and staff. I remember almost everyone. I remember vividly what I would call the historical giants, professors, Henri-Claude de Bettigny teaching ethics and managing the Euro-Asia Center then. I remember vividly Michael Brim, who opened our Welcome Week class with the classes in OB. You will discover OB soon. And the developing rising stars. I had, believe me or not, Ilian Mihoff as a young professor then of macroeconomics, and Peter Zemsky, a professor of strategy. Both of them are now dean and vice dean of INSEAD, I think they were well trained by the 99J to become what they are today. And for me, and I will end my experience of INSEAD here, it was really the start of my personal journey. A real start for my family. I've been married with Cécile for 25 years. We were young married when we were here on campus. We lived in Samois-sur-Seine. I don't know if anyone lives in Samois-sur-Seine. Wave your hand. No? Okay. Too bad. So 25 years after, we are still married, and we have 4 children, as you said, Urs. And why do I say it was the real start of our family? Because our elder daughter, who is now a student in medical studies, 23 years old, was born at in Fontainebleau in the break between P3 and P4. I will convey your applaud to my wife and daughter. And it was funny because the story with Ilian, and it's a special bond with Ilian because he was my professor in P3 of macroeconomics. I did not really understand everything in macroeconomics. And I had one dream, was to waive the exam at the end of the period of macro because it was difficult. And I went to Ilian Mihov before the birth and said, look, my wife is pregnant, the baby is due right during the exam, can I waive it? And he said, no, but if your baby is born during the exam week, I'll give you, I think the average grade is 2. I'll give you, is that still the case? 3 now? 3. And you don't have to take the exam. If the birth is especially right at the time of my exam of macro, you get the best grade of the class. I was praying that Maëlys was born during macro. No, but she was born after the exam, so I got average in macro with Ilian. I think he forgave me after that. And it was also the start of my journey in business. You were kind to tell all what I've done. And it's true that my career is still surprising me. After INSEAD, I could not have dreamt before INSEAD to land a job at Unilever. I landed a job at Unilever just at the exit after graduation of INSEAD. Believe me or not, I got a telegram. You know what telegram is? I got a telegram from the chief HR officer of Unilever welcoming me at Unilever on the day of my graduation in my pigeonhole here. I remember that all my life. I started in marketing because I thought Unilever was a big marketing company and a marketing university, so I could continue my studies. I joined as a brand manager. I was quickly promoted marketing director because I was lucky, and I worked a bit in the UK. I was then the winner of an internal competition. Thanks to INSEAD, I learned at INSEAD to do business plans, theoretical business plans. So I did an internal competition for an intelligent vending machine, which was the start in the years 2000 of the net and the WAP phones before the smartphones. And I won, thanks to the business plan skills I learned at INSEAD, the internal competition against 1,000 other bidders. And the prize was you create your own company within Unilever. So I started a startup within Unilever on intelligent vending machines. Then I was taken in M&A because the CFO was a French guy, graduated from INSEAD, Patrick Sesco. He's one of our very most famous alumni, probably. And he took me in the team of M&A to do a hostile takeover. I don't know if everyone participated in a hostile takeover of $24 billion. Never happened in my life, would have never happened without INSEAD. I would not have been picked up amongst the team. I was lucky that we did the takeover. We secured it, we won, and then we integrated. So Patrick appointed me integration leader for Europe, which is a different task than acquiring. Integrating is a bit more difficult, I can tell you afterwards. And it was 26 or 27 countries in Europe where you had to join the forces of Best Foods, that was the target, and Unilever, under a new company, new co called Unilever Best Foods. We were the champions in marketing, okay? So Unilever Best Foods, and then I was appointed chief of staff and board secretary, which was also an amazing learning experience because then I discovered what leadership really meant, playing golf, traveling the world, all that stuff. And then I was sent to Dubai. That was in the Netherlands. Then I was sent in Dubai to create a business in Dubai and be the managing director, the general manager of a new food service business, a B2B, serving the hotels especially. So we had a growth of 4 or 5 digits. We were starting from very low. And then I was called back into Netherlands to become a VP Finance for Europe and head of global restructuring plan called One Unilever. I can tell you, without Unilever, none of this would have happened. None of it. So your chance being here is get a job like that, land a job like that. You will love it for the rest of your life. And you don't know what it's becoming then. And I didn't know I would return to consulting after having criticized, remember, I criticized consulting. Actually, it's the best job in life when you're a partner. So, so I joined a series of firms as a partner. It was feeling really good. And I'm now, as you said, the managing partner of KPMG on this ESG practice, which is really what the clients want today. And I'm also heading the consumer, retail, and luxury practice based in Paris. And I also created the KPMG Global Strategy Group with a bunch of friends to create a strategy management practice inside KPMG, which is an old-fashioned Big Four without strategy consulting. So now we have strategy consultings across the world. It feels good. And the last path of my journey is the pro bono. You mentioned what I do in life. I will come back to that at the end. But I had a series after INSEAD of roles in pro bono, what I call giving back roles, and especially chairing the INSEAD Alumni Association. I'll come back to that at the end. It's an association I hope you will join at the end of your class, but I will tell you a bit more about that. I also created, how do you call that in English? An endowment fund called Essentials, which serves the common good. So we fund with family money and generous money, feel free to give to Essentials as well. We serve projects that we help to kick off. That can be projects or startups or social businesses that contribute to the common good. And we gave some money, especially before COVID and since COVID took place, to I think 20 projects of that nature in France and outside France. And it's quite an adventure. And it was born in Brazil, actually, because for the past 20 years, so just after INSEAD, I started to discover this country, which we loved. That's where we went on honeymoon. But we had a feeling that Brazil had something more than nice beaches, etc. And we went with my wife and an association, NPO, a non-profit organization, into the favela, not to watch and take pictures like some tourists do, but to live with them, and to get ideas on how you can do good things and do good with very, very few resources. And that's a learning that we reiterated. And now I bring every 2 years or 3 years, groups of 20, 30 people with this association, which is the Franciscan order, into the favelas of Sao Paulo in order to make them discover that you can do good with nothing and to bring that back into your countries. That can be France, but other places. And I can tell you that all the people who will go there for 2, 3 weeks in a row, so they sacrifice 2, 3 weeks holiday to do this experience, they are not immune anymore. When they exit, they are transformed, they are changed, like I've been, and they create stuff for the common good in their countries of origin. Because we don't need to have favelas only in Brazil. We have exactly the same outside Paris on the périphérique. And I have people who've been there. The former head of Yahoo in Europe has now created an app to help the homeless people after this travel to Brazil that we support with the Essentials Fund. I have other people who have created ways to do palliative support to people dying, not in the hospitals, but at home, because we've seen that in the favela, that the people are up to the end of their life in the homes with their family instead of being sent to the doctors, but they cannot afford it. So all the learnings we had there, we try to develop for the common good in our countries in Europe. So that's what INSEAD did for me. That was my experience. We can talk about that if you want afterward. I wanted to give you a few tips about your experience at INSEAD. A bit like Ilian did. You will love it a lot. Among all the alumni I've met, not the 65,000, but a lot, we have 7,000 just in France, only one told me he disliked INSEAD. Only one. The guy is a CEO of a huge advertising agency now. So I immediately recruited him in the advisory board of the INSEAD Alumni Association because he had a negative experience. I wanted that to never happen again. After him, nobody told me that they were dissatisfied. So that worked. You will learn a lot. So you will love it. You will learn a lot. Useful stuff. Finance, marketing, strategy, macroeconomics. You will learn people stuff, like OB. I encourage you to not discard OB, like many students do, because it feels a bit boring or strange. That's probably one of the most useful classes I had afterwards. Thinking about people and how you interact with other people. And the essential stuff. Negotiations, ethics, entrepreneurship. This is unbelievably useful afterwards and essential, clearly. And all the other topics. You will give and take. You take more, you take a lot, clearly. You learn from professors, from all the faculty, from your fellow colleagues, students, etc. And all the alumni that will go on campus and all the job, how do you say, the job offers that you will meet through the people of the different companies that will visit on campus. So you learn enormously, you will take a lot inside, but you have to give a lot as well. Because if you consider that you are, I think, 1,000 students in total on campus with the two classes, times 5 or 6 years average experience before, you have 6,000 years of wisdom, experience, knowledge in the room. That's amazing. So give your bit, what you learned in the past 20, 30 years of my life, and get a lot. So that's a sort of a mutual exchange, which is fascinating, but you have to make the step to give to the groups, to the students, etc. You will have an ultimate shock of your life. I think you will experience near-death stuff. And that's when you're given your period 1, your P1 group. You will be with 4 or 5 people, and you will have to do, at the end of P1, if that's still true, a collective exam with those people. That's near-death experience. I don't think anyone died before, but close. And then you're back to life when this group work ends. Okay, that's a real near-death experience. For myself, I had a real tiny Chinese girl who used to work in an investment bank and then a major consulting firm, McKinsey, that you might have heard about. I had a gigantic US soldier officer from submarines and intelligence. I had a very nice, witty Swedish IT guy, a lot of humor. And I had a rigorous German engineer from Lufthansa. And I was the consultant who knew everything. So this group was designed to fail. We did not understand each other at all. Seriously, the group exam, Eric, the gigantic American, took the screen and was shaking the screen like that in the cubicle. And and then the Chinese lady panicked. And it was really a traumatic experience for me. And I was doing the consultant, okay, why don't we listen to each other? Let's do active listening. Can I reformulate what you said? So good luck with that. My tip on that, by the way, fail fast, learn fast, fix fast. And then it's a virtuous circle instead of a vicious circle. But it's fantastic afterwards. You remember all your life. Then there is the choice of electives. Some students or alumni, they ask me, okay, what elective should I take? That's a wrong question. You have tons of people in the room. When you have a sector that interests you, when you have a function that interests you, when you have entrepreneurship that interests you, go for the electives that will bring you fun, excitement, passion, and insights or foresights, even better. Don't go for, okay, this class seems to be very popular, this elective seems to be expensive in bidding, if that's the same way to do the choice. Don't do that, seriously. Go where the excitement and passion is for you. If you want to work in FMCG, like I wanted to do in consumer products, I looked around the electives. I found Marcel Kozjans was doing store wars. and I love Star Wars. So I went there. No bigger explanation than that. It was one of the best classes in my life. I called Marcel afterwards at Unilever to do classes for the executives of Unilever when I was chief of staff. And Marcel got the Unilever chair of marketing afterwards. Unbelievable, fantastic story. I don't know if he still teaches here. Not sure. No, not anymore. Retired. That's the drawback with being here 25 years ago. So, but you see, that's the elective I chose. Fantastic. It left me with Unilever stories for life. So in summary, I have a simple recipe for you, for your experience at INSEAD. It's in rhymes. It's about teamwork. It's about network. It's about homework. You have to. It's about after work, especially. And your job search. It starts on day one. It starts today. So don't all send me your CV. I don't take them tonight, maybe later. But you have only 4 choices here. You can join a business. You can buy a business, do a search fund, get money from other people quickly, and then you buy a business. Create a business. Many of you will be in the entrepreneurship classes. Or avoid the business and work in politics or non-profit, etc. So these 4 choices you have to make quite quickly, and then you will have a fantastic life here because your 10 months or 12 months will be an opportunity to learn about and deep dive into your choice. So try to make it early and then start on that. And after INSEAD, whatever happens to you, after your experience at INSEAD, you have in anything that you will live through, and I still do it today, you demand from the people you work with leadership. And when I say you demand leadership, you demand leadership. If you don't get it, you leave. You turn job, you resign, you hand out your resignation and you go. The leadership that you learn here, it's all about leadership. It's written in the big capital letters to make the world better. Expect nothing less. Give nothing less to your employer, colleagues, partners, whatever. And all the rest, I can promise you after my wisdom years of career, all the rest is superficial. Especially the 3 dangerous things, glory, power, and money. If you seek only that, you will fail at some stage because money, anyone will have more money than you at the end of the day, unless you are the richest man on earth, and even then, you could get more. Glory, I'm not sure there are former alumni who have glory like super rock stars. Power is the tricky one. You might seek power. The leadership is not exactly about that. The leadership that you learn here with the class, with your neighbors here and the alumni is more about inclusive rather than exclusive, like power could be. So don't be tempted too much by glory, power, and money. Focus on leadership and demand it, nothing less. And if you don't find it, you leave and you go somewhere else. Now, my last part, if I have time enough, is our experience at INSEAD, during INSEAD, and after INSEAD. And here, I launch you an invitation. When you're in P4 or P5, call me, and we do 4 things together, if you want. Don't forget. Okay, I have a good assistant. She can fill you in the diary. 4 things. 1, we will grow the alumni family together. And you will join, you will become a member, you will start paying your duties every year, your dues, but you will be part of an extraordinary community with events that surpass everything you've met before. Just in Paris, in France, next door, and you can already attend now, freely, for free. We have 200 events per year, 1 every working day. Seriously. There are events like the INSEAD Essentials that we launched back in 2011 when I was chairman. INSEAD Essentials, subtitle, How to Make the World a Better Place. It's the promise of Ilian, the business as a force for good, translated into testimonials, action, reflections, panels, fantastic speakers. I think in the 5 or 6 last INSEAD Essentials, it happens every year, you've had all the CEOs that you can dream to meet, speaking, attending, in Zoom, in presence, in person, whatever. And not only CEOs, people from non-profit, people from politics, people from religions. It's all the collective power to make the world a better place, which is on stage and which tries to make you think and act, especially, better for the common good and to drive business as a force for good. And that's really in action through the alumni community, what you will learn here. So don't hesitate, you call me and we bring for those who graduate, and not for the 2 or 3 who will fail, sorry, but you'll be part of that, we grow it together. The second thing that we will do together, you will unlearn one thing. We will together forget what we call the work-life balance. I hate that. Seriously. Work-life balance, for me, you have to balance things, okay? So I have, I'd say, 33% of my time for the family, 33% for my work time, 33% for leisure and pro bono work. It doesn't work like that. I don't do that myself. I would urge you not to think like that. I would like you to think together when you graduate about work-life integration. You do everything 100%. I do 100% family, 100% work, 100% pro bono, 100% sports. No sports, 50%. I'm too old. So try to do everything greatly, full speed, maximum enthusiasm, with a lot of passion. When I recruit MBA students from INSEAD, they are very different from all the other MBA students or other grandes écoles or universities that we have in France. They exude that passion and this full work-life integration. That's what you learn on campus with the work, the homework, the parties, the job search. You do everything at once. And for those of you who are married, you have a partner, maybe children here on campus. And for those who are not married, well, you get to get married to one alumni that's quicker, another student, and more efficient, and that's it. Okay? So you do everything integrated. That's the second thing I promise we should do together at the end. Third thing, together we will dream bigger. Like the Paris Saint-Germain, you know, if you watch football. Dream bigger. I love this phrase. It's a great tagline. Dream bigger. Nobody who changed the world or the business in the past have started with, I have a project, I have a goal, I have a spreadsheet, I have a business plan. Nobody does that. Everyone starts with, I have a dream. That's the people who make changes in the world, in the society, in the business. And I know a lot of them who have been entrepreneurs, consultants, bankers, corporate people, non-profit people. They have a dream. I have a dream. What is yours? Think about that. What is yours? To exit INSEAD in 12 months' time with the purpose to change something, to make your contribution to the world. What's your dream? When you go back to bed tonight, think about it. And you call me in P4 when you have time to mature the dream. Because the dream will change. It will evolve. Because you have so many nationalities, so many people. Watch your neighbors again. How can they contribute to your dream? There was one guy who founded BlaBlaCar, the car sharing. He had a dream when he came to INSEAD. He spoke about his dream to everyone. Everyone was fed up at the end, pissed off. The professors, the students, the alumni, nobody could listen to him anymore. He was getting the feedback all the time. This doesn't work. Okay, I fix it. This doesn't work. I fix it. This works. Okay, I keep it. And he created BlaBlaCar. He has 100 million users now. He's quite successful, renowned. He just published a book with his story. Have a look. He talks about his dream. What's your dream? And the last thing we will do when you call me, together we will make the world a better place. Seriously. It's not just a promise by Ilian or a slogan of INSEAD that business is a force for good. Becoming a true leader is not really included in the INSEAD package. Not really. It's not from learning, it's from acting. And acting requires for me a few things. First of all, convictions, very important. It requires engagement, passion. I talked about it already. It requires people to embark people, and it requires purpose. And the purpose is the call to action, so it's a virtuous circle. And my real deepest conviction, which I actually found here at INSEAD, is that truly business can help make the world a better place. Because NGOs or NPOs, they have fantastic ideas, they have great ideal, they are lacking resources, they are lacking technologies, they are lacking processes. The politicians, they can have also great ideas, but they are short-term sometimes in life to be elected. And therefore the businesses, that's what Ilian said, is the place where you can really do good. Seriously. And you can do well, by the way, by doing good. I think KPMG is a good place to do well. I'm quite wealthy and enough, but also by doing good. So don't forget that. Purpose is a call to action, which really, I learned here. And Unilever was a good place to practice that. And there are many good places to practice that. In corporate, in banking, in consulting, in startups, of course, that you could create or buy. And collectively, as INSEADers, I include you already in the alumni, you see, I'm optimistic for you. We are part of the most influential leaders in the world. And you may not believe it because you are sitting on the bench today for 12 months of classes. But when you graduate, when you enter this world of business or non-profit, I can tell you, you will have an influence. That's by design. That's associated to the price tag that you pay. And the people will recruit you because you are from INSEAD. And the people will lend you money to create your company because you are from INSEAD. And the people in non-profit will welcome you because you are from INSEAD and you agree to a low salary. Seriously, and even in the politics, the guy who did my inauguration opening ceremony talk was Sir Andrew Large, was the governor of the Bank of England. It's not a real bank, it's more politics. He was very influential in politics, I can tell you, when you work on the interest rates of the country. So in every sphere of activity, you will be an influential person. Even better, you can be an influential leader. Give me a call. Think about your dream. Forget work-life balance. Do for full work-life passion and enthusiasm and integration. Join the alumni community. And together we can make the world really better. Thank you very much for your attention and good luck. Merci.